Imagine a world where your AI assistant schedules your meetings, checks your emails, sends you a daily summary every morning, and supports your business in 1,000 other ways. It's not something out of sci-fi. I'm going to show you exactly how to do all of this and more with OpencLaw. In this video, I'm going to walk you through all of the steps to set up OpencLaw, and also some important mistakes to avoid. First, we will install OpencLaw with a one-click deployer. Next, we'll connect an AI model like Claude or ChatGPT and connect OpencLaw to Telegram so you can send commands anytime and from anywhere with your phone. Once we do that, I'll teach you how you can use skills to supercharge your productivity and what the difference is between cron jobs and heartbeats. Now, one thing you have to understand is that OpencLaw is open source and it's experimental. This means it can be risky to install on your own personal computer, both because it can accidentally delete files and because it could also potentially install malware. So to be safe when using OpencLaw, we're going to use a VPS. That's a virtual private server. This is a computer that stays online all the time. So not only will this limit your liability and reduce your risk, but it will allow OpencLaw to stay online 24/7 so it can run scheduled jobs and automations. To get everything started, we're going to use a one-click deployer from Hostinger. It's the easiest, fastest, and cheapest way to install OpencLaw. I dropped a link in the description that's going to take you to Hostinger where you can set up your VPS. Okay, this is Hostinger. And this is the OpencLaw page. So just make sure you're on this page because sometimes they change their pages around. So just make sure that you're on the OpencLaw page. You can see that there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can always try it with no risk. When you're ready, click Get Started. And that's going to bring you down to the plan options. I suggest you go with the managed OpencLaw plan, not only because it's cheaper, but it will allow you to get started extremely quickly. So I'm going to click Choose Plan. And on this page, it's going to ask me how long I want to purchase the plan for. So the options are 1 month, 12 months, or 24 months. I suggest you go with 12 months because you're going to get a big discount and you always have that 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can always cancel if it's not for you. One thing I want to point out is that you want to uncheck this ready to use AI button. If you leave this enabled, it will bundle ChatGPT, Claude, and some other AI models. We found in testing that this can sometimes cause conflicts. I'll get more into this later, but for now you can leave this box unchecked. Also, I want to point out that we have a coupon code for you. To get a further 10% discount, you can enter in Eric10 and click apply, and that will give you a nice discount on top of the already low price. This is going to be the best possible price for you when setting up OpencLaw. In this case, it's only $86 for a year. Let's click continue and go to the next step. And right here, it's asking you to register for Hostinger. I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and log in, but you can put in your email and password to sign up for Hostinger if you don't already have a Hostinger account. And on this page, you can enter in your billing information, your billing address, your card info, and then click next. Okay, once you get to this page, Hostinger is going to ask you to connect an AI model with an API key. So API keys allows us to connect to other applications like OpenAI's ChatGPT or Anthropic's Claude or Google's Gemini. So you should decide which AI model you want to use and then go get the API key for that particular AI model. I'm going to use Claude from Anthropic, so let me show you how to get Claude's API key. So you can go to claude.ai and sign up for an account if you don't already have one. And once you have an account, you're going to need to go to Claude console. So if you don't know how to do that, if you want some more instructions, you can just ask Claude how to get an API key. It walks you through it step by step here. And all of the AI options out there, ChatGPT, Gemini, if you just ask them how to get an API key, it will walk you through it. But for Claude, you have to go to this Anthropic console, which I have open right here. And then we're going to click Get API Key. And for Claude, you have to buy credits to use the API key. So I'm going to choose this one, $20, just to try it out. And then I'm going to put in my billing information and credit card details. Now that I purchased credits, I'm going to come back here and click Get API Key again. And I'm just going to name it OpencLaw. You can name it whatever you want. And then create API key. It's going to show me the API key here. So I'm going to copy this. And then I'm going to go back to Hostinger. Now that I'm back in Hostinger, I'm going to paste the API key in this box right here and click Next. And now Hostinger will set up OpencLaw for us. Okay, and so now Hostinger is asking us to connect OpencLaw to a messaging app. So let's connect OpencLaw to Telegram. So if you don't have Telegram already, you can go to your phone's app store and download it, or you can also log in through the web browser. I've got Telegram open right here. And what we're going to do is go to Telegram and search for the bot father. And when you find the bot father, open the chat, and then you can click start. And here it's going to give you a lot of options, but the one we're going to do is new bot. All right, a new bot, what are we going to call it? Please choose a name for the bot. I'm going to call it OC bot. It says good, now let's choose a username for your bot. It must end in bot. So I'll call mine Eric263 OpencLaw bot. Okay, done. Congratulations on your new bot. And it will give us this unique token that you can use to connect it to OpencLaw. So this is really important. You want to make sure that you copy this and put it someplace safe, like your notepad or text editor, and we'll use it to connect to OpencLaw in just a second. Now we'll come back to Hostinger, and I'm going to paste that token right in this box and click next. So now we need to pair the bot. Let's go back to Telegram, and we're going to search for our bot up here. So this is the username of my bot, and I see it right here. And then I'll click start. And when I click start, it gives me a pairing code. And you'll see that in Hostinger, it's automatically filled in right now. It might take a few seconds, like 30 seconds or a minute for you to be able to approve it. So once you click start in Telegram, give it a minute, it will fill in the pairing code, and then you can click approve. And now Telegram is connected. Now, since we're inside of Hostinger, let me show you that on the left side in Hostinger, there is this OpencLaw menu. If you click on that, it will take you to this menu that shows you your OpencLaw installations. And from here, you can manage your installation. On this screen, you can view and edit all of the details associated with this OpencLaw installation. You can even delete the entire installation and start over if you'd like. And from here, you can also click this button to open OpencLaw. Now we're in OpencLaw. If you've used ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude before, then you'll be pretty familiar with how this works. Let's start by saying hi. And it's going to send you this intro message asking about who you are and what it should call itself. So I'm going to say this. My name is Eric and your name is OpencLaw. And it's going to ask you about a few details like the vibe, time zone, and some other things. So you can just answer the questions now and you'll be all set up. So I just entered in my preferences and then I'll send that. Okay, and now it looks like we're all set up. Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and test Telegram to make sure that it's connected to OpencLaw properly. So I'm in my OC bot here, and I'm just going to say, hey, are you there? And we can see that in OpencLaw, it responds, hey, Eric, yep, I'm here. When it comes to selecting an AI model, you should match the model to the task. For example, if you're trying to do something more simple, maybe a basic task, you can use a cheaper model. For more complex tasks like analyzing data or doing research, you can use a stronger model. The main point here is that you want to select a model based on what you're trying to do. If you're getting poor results with OpencLaw, it's probably the AI model you're using and not so much OpencLaw itself. So let me show you how to add and change models. If I wanted to add another API key from another AI model, it's as easy as going to get the API key from ChatGPT or Gemini or any other AI model, and then telling OpencLaw, how can I add another AI model API? And assuming you went and got your API key, you would say, I have an API key from ChatGPT, I would like to add it now. Now I've already got Claude set up and that's all I'm going to use for this tutorial, but if you wanted to add an API key from another AI model, it's as easy as pasting it in right here. Once you do that, you can come over to the Agents menu, and then right over here, it says Primary Model, and this is where you can select exactly which AI model you're using. So currently I only have Claude set up, but if I had ChatGPT or Gemini or anything else, I could select it from the menu here. And again, it's good to match the AI model with the task because some AI models are better at certain things over others. Now that we've set up OpencLaw, connected Telegram, and added our first AI model, let's add our first skill. A skill is what turns OpencLaw into a real assistant. It could be something like scheduling events on your calendar, creating a Google Doc for you, tracking the price of a certain product, or even giving you a summary of the news every morning. To get started installing skills, you want to go to this web address right here, clawhub.ai. Now from here, you can search for different skills. If you come up here to the left side and click on skills, you'll see a list of all the different skills available. In my case, the first thing I want OpencLaw to be able to do is schedule events on my calendar. Now, something to be aware of is OpencLaw is open source, and it's possible that some of these skills could have malware and potentially they could do things like expose your personal information. I don't want to scare you too much, but just make sure you get your skills from a reliable developer. Now, since I want to set up some skills to use for my Google Workspace and scheduling calendar events, I'm going to search for this skill. It's called GOG, G-O-G, and I can see it right here. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see this virus total right here, and it says benign, it's green. It does say suspicious next to OpencLaw, but the good news is we can check with OpencLaw and see if it's really safe or not. So let's pull up Telegram and we'll tell our OpencLaw bot this. I'm thinking of installing the GOG skill. Can you confirm if the GOG skill is safe? And notice when I send through Telegram, it also appears in the OpencLaw chat here. Okay, so it just came back and it said that it's probably fine, but it gave us a few suggestions like using a secondary test account for Google before you do anything serious. The Google account I'm going to hook up doesn't have any sensitive data anyway right now, so I'm just going to tell it this. Go ahead and install the GOG skill. And it says done, the GOG skill is installed and enabled. But one thing we need to be aware of is that it's not actually connected to our Google account yet, so we'll have to do that in a second. So first up, our bot is saying we need to install the GOG CLI library. And it says I can install it via Homebrew if you like. So I'm going to say this. I want you to install the GOG CLI library, but I don't have Homebrew. I have OpencLaw installed with Hostinger. And actually, it says good news, you actually do have Homebrew installed in this container. It came with Hostinger, OpencLaw setup. Let me install GOG with it. Okay, so it's making it easy for us. All right, it came back and it said all done, GOG is installed and ready. And it reminds us again to actually use it with your Google account, you need to get and it asks about some credentials from the Google Cloud Console. I know this whole process of connecting OpencLaw to Google isn't the easiest, but it's what we have to do to give OpencLaw access. So just take it one step at a time. This will allow OpencLaw to talk directly to Google Workspace, to complete tasks, and to update things like Google Docs and calendar events. So to set this up, let's go and open a new tab and go to console.cloud.google.com. And from here, we're going to sign into our Google account. And once you log in, you should land on a page that looks like this, and you can double check that you're signed into the correct Google account up here in the top right. The first thing we need to do in here is create a new project. So let's come up to the top and hit select a project. When this window opens, you can click on new project. And let's name the project OpencLaw, and then we'll hit create. And it shows us here that our project was just created, so we can click select project. Once you land on this page, come over to the left side, and if you can't see this, you may have to open the menu. Come down to APIs and services, and then enabled APIs and services. So now let's enable some services. Let's click on this enable APIs and services button, and the first thing I'm going to search for is calendar. I'm searching for calendar because I know I want OpencLaw to be able to create events on my calendar, so I need to be able to give it permission to access the calendar. So once I search for calendar, the Google Calendar API comes up, so I'll select that. And I'm going to click enable. Now that we've enabled the calendar, let's go back here and then click enable APIs and services. And this time let's search for Drive. Okay, and we'll select this one, Google Drive API. And I'll click enable. And now I'll go back and we're going to do one more. Click on enable APIs and services. And this time I'm going to search for Docs. And right here I see the Google Docs API. I'll click enable on that one as well. Okay, great. Now we've enabled the Google Calendar, Drive, and Docs APIs. You can also enable APIs for Gmail, Google Sheets, or any other Google service that you want OpencLaw to interact with. So I will go ahead and enable a few more now. Now that we've done that, we're going to go over to the OAuth consent screen. Again, if you don't see this, you might have to open up the menu from here. Let's click Get Started. For the app name, you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it OpencLaw. For the user support email, you can choose your email. It'll be listed here, then click Next. For the audience, you're going to select External, and then click Next. And for contact information, you can use your email address again, and then click Next. Agree to the terms here, click Continue, and then click Create. Now let's go over to Audience in this menu, and we're going to add a test user. Come down here and click the Add Users button under Test Users. and I want you to enter in your email address. Now that we've done that, let's open up this menu again, go down to APIs and services, and go to credentials. Now we're going to create an ID. So let's go to create credentials and then select OAuth client ID. For application type, let's choose desktop app. And you can name this whatever you'd like. I will name mine Openclaw and then click create. Now it's going to give you a client ID and a client secret key. It's important that you copy these somewhere safe on your computer because we're going to need them in just a second. And the last thing you have to do here is download the JSON file. Now let's go back to Telegram. Now let's attach the JSON file we just downloaded to the chat and Telegram. And in the caption, I'm going to say, here's the JSON file. Okay, so it just came back and it said credentials loaded. Now we need to add your Google account. What's the Gmail address you want to connect? So I'll just give it my email address. So you can see it's doing some problem solving and it's saying I need to take this link and open it in my browser. So let me do that. And I'll sign in. And it gives us a warning that says Google hasn't verified this app because it doesn't know who created the app. But the reality is that we created the app. So it's totally safe. Let's continue. And I'll hit continue again. And then I will give it all the permissions that it's asking for. Now we get hit with this Safari can't connect to the server page, but don't worry. The OC bot actually warned us that this might happen. And it says, that's fine. Copy the full URL from your browser's address bar and paste it back to me. I'll use that URL to complete the authorization. So let's just copy this up here and I'll paste the URL in the chat. All right, it came back with an error and it says that the auth code expired. I'm not sure why because I did this all within 1 or 2 minutes, but let's try it again. I'm going to copy this link and open it in my browser and I'll sign in again and I'll continue back to this screen where I'm going to grant all of the permissions. And I get hit with this can't connect to server page again. So let me copy this URL and I will paste it back in Telegram. One thing I really like about OpencLaw in this bot is that it does a great job of troubleshooting for you. And if you have a problem, it suggests what steps to take next. Okay, it says all set. GOG is fully connected to my email address with access to Gmail, Calendar, Drive, and all the other things I connected. Want me to test it out? So let's give it a test. Let's tell it to do this. Schedule a 90-minute lunch meeting on my calendar with Daryl, and I put his email address. So it's asking me what day and time do I want to schedule the lunch meeting because I forgot to include that information. So let me tell it this, May 4th at 1 p.m. Okay, and it says done. It added it to my calendar. It added the correct day and time, and it also invited Daryl with the email address I provided. So let's go check this inside my Gmail account. Now I'm in the calendar in my Gmail account, and sure enough, there is the event, lunch meeting with Daryl at 1 p.m. And if I open this, the invite has been sent to his email address. And while I'm at it, let's create a Google Doc that we'll use to take notes during our meeting. So I'm going to tell OpencLaw this. Create a Google Doc called Meeting Notes and invite Daryl to be an editor on the doc. Okay, it says doc created, not let me share it with Daryl as an editor. Now, if I come to my drive, sure enough, it did create the doc meeting notes right here. Okay, let's try setting up one more thing. Every morning at 7 a.m. Bangkok time, create a Google Doc with the weather forecast for that day, as well as 3 to 5 of the biggest news stories. It says, I'll set up a daily cron job for this. It'll run at 7 a.m. Bangkok time, fetch the weather and top news, and create a Google Doc with everything. A cron job is a task that runs once, or on a schedule. A heartbeat is a task or job that runs continuously. For this reason, cron jobs are a lot more cost effective. So you should think about this when setting up your automations. And it also says the first run will be tomorrow morning. Want me to do a test run right now so we can see how it looks? That would be great. I would love to see how it looks right now. Now it says kicked it off. It's running in the background now. And if I come over here to Drive, you can see it created this doc and it put the date. And right now it's blank, but I think it's still working in the background. Okay, and there it is. It put all the info I requested. The current weather, today's forecast, and the top news stories. Hopefully you're now able to set up OpencLaw, add AI models, connect to Telegram, and install skills. If you have any questions at all about some part of the process, leave me a comment down below and I'll do my best to help. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.